Alright, y'all, gather round because today we're diving into a classic southern dish that's not only delicious but also super easy to whip up, even if you're just starting out in the kitchen. We're talking about shrimp and grits. Now, I know what you might be thinking, shrimp and grits. That sounds fancy. But let me tell you, it's one of those meals that's rooted in southern comfort, and it can be as simple as a Sunday morning breakfast or a fancy dinner party. So, grab your apron, and let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the ingredients because, honestly, that's where the magic begins. For the grits, you're going to want to use stone-ground grits if you can find them. They're creamier and have a wonderful texture that really elevates the dish. But if you're in a pinch, instant grits will work just fine too. You'll need about a cup of grits, 4 cups of water, and a pinch of salt. Now, if you want to jazz it up a bit, add a splash of milk or cream towards the end for that extra richness. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. Now, let's move on to the star of the show, the shrimp. You'll need about a pound of shrimp, peeled and deveined. If you can get fresh shrimp, that's fantastic, but frozen will work just as well. Just make sure to thaw them ahead of time. You'll also need some butter, garlic, and a bit of seasoning. I like to use Cajun seasoning for that kick, but you can totally customize this to your taste. A little salt, pepper, and maybe a squeeze of lemon at the end can really brighten everything up. Alright, so while we're gathering our ingredients, let's talk about the cooking process. It's simple, I promise. Start by bringing your water to a boil in a medium saucepan. Once it's bubbling, add in your salt and slowly whisk in the grits. This is where you want to keep an eye on it because grits can clump up if you don't stir them well. Reduce the heat to low and let them simmer. You'll want to stir occasionally to keep them nice and creamy. This usually takes about 20 to 25 minutes, so don't be afraid to multitask while they cook. Now, while those grits are doing their thing, let's focus on the shrimp. In a large skillet, melt about 2 tablespoons of butter over medium heat. Once it's nice and bubbly, toss in a couple of minced garlic cloves. Oh, the aroma that fills your kitchen at this point is just heavenly. Sauté the garlic for about a minute until it's fragrant, and then add in your shrimp. If you're using Cajun seasoning, sprinkle it over the shrimp now. You'll want to cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side until they're pink and opaque. Remember, shrimp cook quickly, so don't walk away. You want them tender, not rubbery. As your shrimp are cooking, check on those grits. If they're getting too thick, feel free to add a little more water or milk to loosen them up. You want a creamy consistency that will cradle those shrimp perfectly. Once the shrimp are done, you can remove them from the skillet and keep them warm while you finish up the sauce. In that same skillet, you can add a splash of chicken broth or white wine to deglaze the pan. Scrape up those delicious bits stuck to the bottom. That's where all the flavor is. Let it simmer for a minute or two to reduce slightly, then toss the shrimp back in and give it all a good stir. Now, let's plate this beauty. Grab a bowl and spoon a generous helping of those creamy grits right in the center. Top it off with your shrimp and that luscious sauce. If you're feeling fancy, a sprinkle of chopped green onions or parsley adds a nice pop of color and freshness. And let's not forget a wedge of lemon on the side for that zing. And there you have it, folks. Shrimp and grits that are not only easy to make but also absolutely mouthwatering. This dish is perfect for impressing friends or just treating yourself after a long day. You can even customize it, add some sautéed spinach or roasted tomatoes for extra veggies, or spice it up with a dash of hot sauce if you like a bit of heat. The beauty of this recipe is its versatility. Now, I know you might be thinking about the cleanup, but don't fret. This meal comes together in one pot and one skillet, so you won't be drowning in dishes afterward. Just a quick rinse and you'll be good to go. So, next time you're in the mood for something comforting, give this easy southern shrimp and grits recipe a try. It's perfect for beginners and will make you feel like a pro in the kitchen. Trust me, once you've tasted the creamy grits paired with those succulent shrimp, you'll want to make this dish again and again. And who knows, you might even find yourself sharing it with friends and family, creating your own southern tradition. Happy cooking, y'all!